just follow the arrows, if you just follow the arrows on CashTrap itself, with no prior knowledge, with no understanding how the strategy works, but just the arrows. I was the one that put in the details for the arrows to come up. So they asked me, like, where would you take trades? So the arrows come up where I would potentially, if I was doing a session, I would call out a trade. Now, these are just good trades. These are 7 out of 10 are going to win. You know, these are just kind of, you know, it should go up here, it should go down here, but they're not 5-point trades. So 3 trades are just good trades. 4 points are great trades, and 5 points are amazing trades. Now you can get more points than that, but I just stick to 5. So an arrow to me is 3. So right now on USDJPY, we have a down arrow. So that's 3 points. But you have to look at the rest of the strategy to take your 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Because once you understand it, it can help you. So a down arrow is a put. And just try to understand this too. When you're trying to trade, guys, the object is to put at its highest point and to call at its lowest point. So even though this might be saying sell right now, if you move your mouse to the arrow, the top of the arrow is the entry point for the put. The bottom of the up arrow is the entry point. So right now, it's saying put at 126 on USDJPY. Right now, price on the platform is at 128. But let's just look back 30 seconds. It's gone to 139. So instead of just immediately being like, oh man, it's better than what it's saying right now. Well, just use your peripherals and say, okay, well, if it goes back up to at least 139 or 136, that's where I'm gonna take the put. And then, you know, it does help to have TradingView up. And I'm trying to get them to add this, but just to simply add this countdown timer. If they can implement this countdown timer right here, guys, it will help you tremendously. So right now there's 4 minutes left. So I would take this trade right now. I do believe that, oh man, it's only for a minute, hold on. So you know what, I'll go ahead and I'll take a 3-minute trade. So that's exactly where I would want to take it as 139, not this 130. So let me just, it's only for $10. So I did the 138. And the reason for this is because, one, I have 3 points because of a down arrow. If I go to the currency strength meter, the Japanese yen right now is stronger than the US dollar. So that adds a point. That's 4 points. Because if we look at the market, right now we're looking at USD versus JPY. $1 US is equaling this amount of Japanese yen. So if the Japanese yen is stronger, it should take less yen to acquire that dollar. So that first $10 trade that I just took, it's not where I wanted it. I didn't want it for a minute. If I would have taken it for 3 minutes there, I would have just rolled it over. So the way rollover works, guys, if you have this platform, is for 3/4 of the time you can roll it over if it's not in profits. Within a quarter of the rest of the time, you cannot roll it over anymore because those are the rules. That's how it works. So right now, I have so I look up here at the clock, 7:02, I expire at 8:42, so I have about 1 minute and 42 seconds. So in about 30 seconds, I'm gonna decide whether I wanna roll this over or not, and it just extend it 3 more minutes. I always lean on more time. So since it did shoot up like that, I am gonna roll it over just to make sure that I have enough time for this to breathe. But 3 points for a down arrow. So those 2 trades I took on the Argentina team, I took 3-point trades. 3-point trades are gonna be pretty close. They're not that great of trades. They're good trades, but they're not great trades. So you might get an entry at, let's say, so I took this at 138. It might clear at 131, 130, 135. It might, hover in and out because it's just a three-point trade. If you can get 4 points, 5 points, you're gonna have better odds. So with this, we have 3. With the currency strength, we have about 4. These are not crossing down yet, so those don't count as points yet. Now, if it doesn't show up, that means there's no trade setups. only time it's going to come up is when there's a trade setup. So like right now on Euro USD, there's an up arrow, there's a cross up, almost crossed up. The Euro though is not stronger than the US dollar. So 3, 3.5, this is not crossing up yet. So that's not a point yet. And then you have to take one away. So really we're at 2.5 points. That's not really enough to take that trade yet. So I wouldn't take that yet. I wouldn't take Euro USD because I'm only at 2.5 points. I gotta have 3 points to be able to take the trade solely off this strategy. But you can see USD JPY, like I said, it's about 4 points. So it's close, but it should go the way that, you know, we think it's going to go. Still got the down arrow. Looks like it's calling out still in this 30s range. So I may roll this over one more time. I have a rule. I only roll over 3 times. 3 times max. And you want to start your trades anywhere from 1 to 3%. The max you're willing to risk, though, is 5% on any trade. And that's including rollovers. Because you should be able to win 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10, the market's moving really good for you. The strategy's working. 9 out of 10, like the last 8 weeks, guys, I've called out 173 wins now and 18 losses over the last 8 weeks. It's just been incredible. And it's just because the market's working. The market's working with the strategy. Everything's kind of coming together. This is looking like it's going to need one more rollover. So 11:42, it's 10. I'll probably wait 15 more seconds to see if this thing tanks. Moved up a little bit more. Let me see something here. I mean, this is pretty set up, but I'm gonna buy myself 6 minutes. So your first rollover is the time that you selected. Your second rollover, it doubles. So now instead of just 3 minutes, now I'm getting 6 minutes. And if I roll it over again the third time, instead of 6 minutes, I'm gonna get 12 minutes. And every single time I'm paying an additional 30%. So that's why you want to start with a little bit lower risk at those points.